Calling you to say goodnight, bare minimum. Calling you pretty, bare minimum. Taking you on dates, bare minimum. Getting you flowers, bare minimum.
Not being ran through, bare minimum. Not having any children, bare minimum. Dating someone for who they are and not what they have, bare minimum. Not having your ass out everywhere on social media, bare minimum.
Is there no chivalry left in this world? I mean, where are the men who will hold your hair up as you are completely choking on it for him? Like, that's the least you can do, okay? Help me help you.
What's the difference between a modern woman and a traditional woman? The modern woman will spend her entire life trying to lift more weight than men. The traditional woman realizes that she doesn't have to lift any weight because of men.
As the man in the relationship, it is your duty to protect your woman's feminine energy. You do this by removing as many masculine responsibilities from her as you possibly can. You see, when your woman is loaded down with tasks, making decisions, and always working, it puts her into a state of fight or flight mode. When you step in as the man and she is receptive to your leadership and you start taking care of things, this creates an environment for her nervous system to relax, and then she can lead from more of a feminine place.
And you're seeing a lot of these modern women, they want to go get the bag. So they, move to a different city, level up. You got your, you live in an expensive city. I want to go to NYC, Chicago. And they do level up. They're getting the bag. But what happens a lot of times with these modern women is they become more transactional. They lose a lot of their femininity. Now, is it possible for a woman to work and be feminine? Absolutely. Right? You have a lot of women out here that are working in high-powered corporate jobs and they still maintain being a woman. That doesn't mean that you're not firm. That doesn't mean that you take BS, whether it's from a man or a woman. But that, I know how to handle business, but then I also know how to be feminine. I also know how to be a woman, right? I also know how to be a leader. Too many times, modern women are happy. They're comfortable trying to fit into a masculine frame when they really should say, how can I still be who I am, but take on this leadership role, be an entrepreneur without changing and acting like I'm a dude?
I always say I get a lot of attention from men, and I do, but I will say that I've reached this point where I kind of scare men now, and I love it. I really love it. Only the bravest of the brave or the stupidest of the stupid will come forward. A lot of men just don't talk to me. They'll stare at me, right? They'll think of me, but they don't talk to me. They don't approach me. And I feel like it's a good thing. It's I've reached a new level.
Men these days are being bred a little bit different. I think they're not as willing to be...
No, we're not bred any different. And we're definitely not scared of rejection. What it is, though, is we're done investing our time and our money into women who don't value us. At some point in time in modern society, women stopped valuing men for what they do and who they are, and only started valuing them for what they provided. And when you start from a position of what will you provide for me, and not how can we complement and bring each other up, you're already starting the game up. And we're certainly not interested in being number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever your lineup of roster of backup motherfuckers is. It's either us or we're not interested, period. And we say to ourselves, save our own money. With myself and the beautiful co-host Tasneem, we go live frequently. Join our lives, add to the discussion, let us know what you think.
A lot of modern women you'll find are really, unfortunately for them, undisciplined, very undisciplined. Say, for instance, she might, or he might have some friends. He keeps some friends, hey, let's go do this, let's do it, let's hang out, right? And I don't invite her because we're just friends. Hey, we're just going out to hang out. It's just me and the boys going to chill out, right? We ain't going to do nothing crazy. We're just going to chill out. Oh, well, you're not going to, where are you going? And you got to answer all those questions. But when it comes time for you to go on a girls trip and you don't invite him, and he says, you never really invite me either. What are you guys doing? We ain't really doing anything. I need my space, boundaries. I gotta have some sort of bodily autonomy and all that other stuff. So it's okay for you to quote unquote get your space and go on multiple girls' nights. But if that man, even God forbid, that man goes over another man's house, have a beer and play some games, God forbid, these brothers have some fun without you. God forbid.
Men are growing up in households where their mothers have spent their entire lives emasculating their husbands. And now all of these men are being raised in households where they are being instructed by their mother on the realities of the world. And oftentimes these realities are coming out of that emotional reality, that emotional empathetic state. And this is creating weak-minded men.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
The only way a man and a woman can fall truly in their masculine or feminine energy is if they are in the presence of the right energy. I'll give you an example. I was the financial provider in both my marriages. Now everyone's like, Sarah, you're too masculine. But what can I do? If the men wore the skirt in the relationship, somebody had to wear the pants, right? And I had to wear the pants. So when you see my story, ask me which chapter was I converted to a masculine more than a feminine, and ask the person I was with, when did they convert me into that in that chapter? So the reason I became like this was to survive the situation I was in. So it's not that I love being in my masculine. You have no idea how much I'm hungry to come home to a man that is safe, that is home, that allows me to deassemble myself, and I don't have to sit there and teach them what to do and take lead of the life and make decisions. I want a man to just do all of that, and men love that. It's not like we're burdening men with things they cannot do. They are that. They love that. It makes them thrive.
With women, you end up turning survival mode on.
Yeah.
And when you do, you're in your masculine energy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
When you don't feel protected or provided for.
Yeah.
My husband knows me as a very different person to what people know me as. He sees me like a child, and he always like jokes, and he's like, you're like a little girl. I'm like a child with him because he allows the space for me to feel.
It makes your inner child even feel safe.
Yeah.
You know what, Tracy? I mean, you're right. With your husband, you feel like you're a little girl. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you realize green flag partner. You know what I mean? And it's not a partner where I have to protect myself from.
Modern women are continuing to ask men to step up over and over again. Step up, be here, do that, say this, be this person, act like this, right? And it's funny because modern women seem to be the only ones in dating that are able to make these types of demands. Well, I want you to be over here. I want you to do this. And when a man says, okay, well, I would like my woman to act a certain way, be a certain way, treat me a certain way, then all of a sudden it's a problem. All of a sudden you're misogynistic. All of a sudden that's the patriarchy speaking up all up in you, running all up and through you. We got to stop that.
People always say, oh, there's no kids. Well, there's no kids because there's no marriage. Or why don't men want to get married? Why the fuck would a man get married today? Men wanted to get married when they got a virgin who listened. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm telling you why men got married. Now they're saying, get married. Oh, you want me to go to Miami, find a girl who's 35 dudes, then have a $10 million wedding for her to put on her Instagram? Is that what you want me to do? Do I look like a dickhead? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm stupid. And then they're going to sit and go, oh, there's no marriage. Well, duh. Well, duh. So then there's no kids. Duh. And then the only way to do it is have kids out of wedlock, and then who pays for them?
Second marriages are typically more successful than first marriages, especially when the second marriage is to the same person. And yes, my husband and I are in our second marriage with each other. We just skipped the divorce part. Our first marriage, it was beautiful and a disaster at the exact same time. When we first met and fell in love, it felt like we were finally coming home. We were best friends. We had babies, we built a life. But as time went on, our marriage was crumbling. I didn't respect his decision making, and he blamed me when things went wrong. I couldn't make sense of my own emotions, so I'd shut down. And he didn't know how to regulate his, so he'd explode. I didn't trust that he could truly care for me, so I clung to independence, which was really an escape plan. And he made me feel like I was last on his list. Some of this probably sounds way too familiar, and some of it might sound horrifyingly far from your reality. But here's what I really want you to hear. It can change. You can have a second marriage while staying married to the same person. Today, I trust my husband fully. I'm proud to call him the leader of our family. Not because I'm silent, but because underneath of every conversation and every argument, there is deep trust. All that to say, we're still not perfect. We're human. We're just two people who rebuilt something that we believed was really worth keeping. Our first marriage didn't do so well, but our second marriage is thriving. And if your marriage is anything like our first, yours too can shift. You can have a second marriage to the person you're already married to.
Modern women don't really know what they want, right? You want a man to take the lead in a relationship, but then you want him to also respect your independence. I'm independent. I don't need nobody. I want you to be decisive, but don't be so decisive that I can't be independent. You got to be so decisive that you got to know when I don't want to be independent, and you got to know when I want to step in and be independent. That's the type of man that I want. You got to know when I want to be told what to do versus when I don't want to be told what to do. And when I don't want to be told what to do, you just get out the way. Huh?
Men, especially right now, are needing a lot more appreciation and support from women and from men. Because since the rise of the feminist movement, we have seen a lot of empowering women or independent, powerful women kind of pushing down and suppressing masculinity. And we are seeing this on a larger scale. This is hurting all of us. And if we choose to support men in the rise of healthy masculinity, we are going to see everything start to work in our favor as women and as men. So we need to stop with just empowering women and bashing on men and hating on men for being men, and start empowering everyone so that we can all thrive together.
Like host. Host? Horse? Horse.
I found my wife. I just saw a video of a military vet talking about how when they were stationed in Japan, so many guys were coming home with wives. And he was already married to someone back in the States, and he was asking the guys, like, what is the deal with this? And their answer was that these women were so ecstatic to be with them. They were so happy to be with them. Just to be their wives and to be the mother of their children was all that they asked from them. To go work their normal jobs and have a normal average income and do the normal things that a man does, and they were satisfied. And not only were they satisfied, they were in love and happy. And a lot of women might not like this, right? But the reality is feminism has ruined our culture and caused women to be hardened, to be more masculine than ever. And listen, it's caused a feminization of men as well in the process. And in the end, it is our responsibility. It is our fault that all happened. Weak men in leadership allowed our culture to become what it is right now. But this whole passport bro thing is starting to make a lot of sense to guys.
You know, here's what a lot of men are realizing. You're not really dating her alone, right? These modern women, and I don't mind it so much as you keep it respectful, but their group chat acts as a board of approval. Like they act as if, oh, you're not just dating me, you're dating my friends. And I have two best friends. I have my sister and whoever else is in the group chat. People that you've never even met, people that you don't even know. They have their own trauma. They have their own issues. A man might send a good morning text at 9 a.m. She'll go over here, screenshot it, send it to the thread, and by noon, they sitting up here talking about, well, I got an opinion on it, this, and all this other not, and it don't have nothing to do with what happened. Oh, well, my man, if I had a man, you don't have a man, exactly, but he would have sent it at 8:30. My man would have sent it at 4. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on that should not be going on. You're getting opinions from people that don't even know how to be in a relationship. They don't, let alone a successful one, let alone even seen one that's been successful, let alone even Let's.
Okay, ignore me looking like a bum. But every time I walk a busy street, not to be cocky or nothing, it just seems to be the trend. Every time I walk a busy street, I get a little beep. At least one guy's gonna beep. That seems to happen, right? So today, I got my beep, and he went down and then he turned around, right? He turned around and he started like holding up traffic to talk to me to try to get my number. The whole point of this story this is what it made me think of. That man will come and get you if he wants you. It don't matter where he at, what he doing. If he's stopping traffic, he's gonna come and get you. And that's today's gem. That's today's reminder for the ladies. Okay, Missing Rib, have a good day.
So you guys believe in splitting 50-50?
No. It's not about splitting 50-50. What it is about though is we're a couple, we're a family, and there is no this is my resource, this is your resource, and so this is our resource.
My first question for you two is how long have you guys been a couple?
2017.
2017. If you don't mind me asking, how much do you guys make?
We make a decent amount of money.
Okay, who makes more out of the two of you, if you don't mind me asking?
So as a couple, if we look at everything as we're making it together.
Okay.
So that I would say that's the starting point with it all.
So there are no separate accounts?
No.
You guys split everything?
Well, it's everything. Yeah, everything is for both of us and our family.
Okay, what about when it comes to like date nights and vacations? Like who pays for what?
It's all the same money.
All the same money. It's coming out of the same account.
Yeah.
What is the real cost of love?
I think it's very easy to be reminded that you're an individual and that's okay. But where is the balance between your relationship and with your partner, with your children, and still remaining who you are? So I do think that is a cost of trying to lose who you once were to become who you're becoming.
Okay. I thank you guys so much for joining me today.
And you see a lot of these modern women are spending years, even from a young age, they're spending years talking about, well, I don't need a man, I'm independent, I'm strong, I can do everything on my own, which is fantastic. Do you? Cool, right? Fantastic. But men are listening to what you're saying. Men are hearing this stuff that you're talking about. And so where a man would volunteer to help you out, he stopped doing that because you said, I don't need a man. And not only, it'd be one thing if somebody came up to you and on an individual basis, you said, oh no, I'm cool. I don't need any help. Thank you though. And he keeps on going on about his way, right? But modern women are doing this on a grand scale. They're getting on social media and they're saying to all the men, before I get out and I change my tire, just PSA, I don't need your help. Hey, before you come over here trying to help me with my furniture or my groceries, PSA, I don't need your help. And the man says, okay, since she put out a PSA, there's no reason for me to even go over there. Well, y'all don't even check anymore, right? Because you put out a PSA. So the PSA is law. And I don't go out there anymore because that's what you said, right? And now you're complaining about where are all the providers at? Where are all the protectors? Well, you're telling men you don't need them. Men heard you. Men are listening to you. What in the world did you expect a man to do?
I understand what people mean when they say, in order for you to have a new life, you have to give up your old life. In the context of relationships, if you decide to end a long-term relationship, which is what I did, not only do you have to grieve the loss of that person just being in your life, even if you were the one to end things, but you also have to grieve, and this can be almost harder sometimes, you have to grieve the loss of the version of yourself that you were when you were in that relationship. What I've heard from a lot of women who have ended long-term relationships is oftentimes we grieve the loss of the person while we are still in that relationship, which is why grieving the loss of yourself once you're out of it, that part of yourself, can be a little bit more challenging. There's parts of myself that I miss from being in a long-term, like, committed relationship. Like, I miss that loving, nurturing, like, thoughtful, giving self, that part of me. And what I've had to do now that I'm no longer in that relationship is I've had to find ways to cultivate that side of myself without being with someone. Started hosting women's hikes. I started getting more involved with my church and volunteering there. But you really do have to find other outlets to bring that side of yourself out again, unless you want to just like jump into another relationship, which I personally do not. If you like miss that side. And it's something that I feel like I haven't heard a lot of people talk about.
Here's a smarter way to make a guy regret ghosting or leaving you.
Yeah.
If you do any of these things, especially the last one, any guy will surely come back running. First one is don't block him. Seriously, do not block him. I know it's tempting, but hear me out. From a guy's perspective, when you block him, he feels like he won. He thinks he got in your head and that he still has control. And that's exactly what you don't want. Plus, he's probably still stalking your social media and that gives you leverage. So make sure you use it. Here's a little trick to see if he's watching you. Hit share on any post, then tap Instagram direct. A list of your top interactions will appear, usually 5 or 6 names. And if he's on that list, he's definitely watching you. Number 2, use the push and grab method. And this method has become very popular and people use it because it works. If you still don't know about it, just comment ocean grab method and someone will explain it to you because a lot of people use it now. Third one is post your best photo on your story right now. Yes, right now, while watching this video, go post your best picture. Then watch what happens, see how quickly he views it, maybe he likes it, or even swipes up. Most guys won't say anything directly, but trust me, they are watching, and that's why the Instagram direct trick helps, because you can check who's paying attention.
A lot of these modern women, they're so hyped up on doing the wrong thing that when they actually run across a nice guy, a good guy, they start dating him and they say stuff like there's not really even a spark. He checks all the boxes on paper, but I'm just not feeling it. It's possible that you come into contact with a good guy, but you don't really feel any sparks. The problem with that is modern women seem to run across multiple good guys. How do we know this? Because they say it online. Oh, this guy was such a great guy. It's just not a spark. This guy was such a great guy. Not a spark. And she beat and gone through before the end of the video. The video's like a minute. She beat and gone through 5, I'm not joking, 5 to 10 men. Let's be a little bit more fair about it. 5 to 7 men. 5 to 7 men crying and booing. What's wrong with me? What's going on with my life? How is everything crumbling? She's going through all of those men. And like I said, let's say it was 1 or 2, maybe even 3, that you don't have a spark with these guys. But how are you reaching 5, 6, 7, 8 men, good guys, that you don't have a spark with? The good guys that you say you find attractive, oh, he's attractive, he's a good guy, he's this, he's that. How are none of them qualifying? How are none of them living up to your standard? The question is answered 3 days later. Sometimes a question is answered in the very same day. Sometimes a question is answered in the very next TikTok, in the very next 5 minutes when they post another one. I'm settling. I'm doing this. Oh, that's why. That's why you're having trouble finding a good man. Because of that right there. The problem is you.
Okay, so my friend just met her dream man. She says she met her soulmate. But unfortunately, he kind of stopped pursuing her after the last time they hung out. And when she broke down their timeline and what's happened, it completely made sense to me. So because they lived in different parts of California, they would spend like 4 or 5 days together at a time. And after the last time of her visiting him, he started to slow down in his pursuit of her. I was telling her about time boxing and how important time boxing is. And sometimes when I tell this to my friends, they think like, oh, I don't want to have to play games. I don't want to manipulate men, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to. No, time boxing is for you and your energy. As soon as you feel like the energy starts to dip in any sort of interaction, social interaction, like that's the time for you to put up a boundary and take care of yourself and take care of your energy and leave. And she looked back on it and she could remember, like, you know, multiple times in the time of hanging out where the energy would start to dip. You just get exhausted of spending so much time around anyone. I don't care if it's your soulmate or not. And always leave on a high note. Don't wait for the energy to dip. And like, I did that to my now husband. The full first month of getting to know each other, like as soon as I would start to feel like energy started to dip, I didn't even make up an excuse. I just said, I have to go to sleep. I'm taking care of myself. Like, did that for me to conserve my energy. But what it made him feel is like he always felt good around me because the energy never dropped. I didn't let it drop. I didn't stay and linger to let it drop.
You know, men, I think a lot of guys, you know, they just get tired of the mixed signals is what it is. I know a lot of these ladies out here are wanting a man to continue to approach them and, you know, just go ahead and really what women want men to do is, regardless of what the signal is, just approach. Just give me the option to say no. You know what I mean? Just, it may work out, it may not. That's why a lot of these ladies live their lives. It may work out, it may not. And sometimes they win, but then sometimes they lose. But the only difference is, and I don't think modern women understand this, they have a support group of people, right? They have a little bit more of a safety net to where whenever they fail, they have friends. Now, men can go get friends and they can go get a safety net. Cool. But historically, for women and children, you have a little bit more of a safety net because people will take a little bit more pity on you. Oh, I can't leave this woman out in the cold. She got to come in here. Here's a couch for you to sleep on. Now, you can't stay here but 2 or 3 weeks, but, you know, here's something for, you know, you said you can find somebody to help you out. Well, then do that. I got a couch for you for 2 to 3 weeks, right? For men, I'm sorry, I can't help you out. There's not really a safety net. So men have to learn, and they have to learn pretty fast, pretty quickly. And I don't think modern women really understand with the way that they're talking to men and treating men. Men have learned fairly quickly, hey, I don't need to be doing this anymore. Because that's how I have to move throughout the world. I have to learn quick and adapt so I can continue to provide.